Hey you guys, Blaze here from Blaze Reviews, and today we're going to be checking out The Crow on 4K UHD. Now this movie was shot on film. It's got a 4K DI. The runtime is 102 minutes. It's rated R. The aspect ratio is 185:1. It's in HDR10 and the audio is DTS HD 5.1. And for reviewing the audio, I will be using my Sony HT-A9, but the movie will sound just as good on the new Bravia Theater Quad or other high-end Dolby Atmos home theater systems. The settings I use on my A9 to get the best sound experience are listed in the description box of this video down below. It's a shame The Crow didn't get a Dolby Atmos mix, but despite having only DTS HD 5.1 audio, it does have some good surround sound. And if your home theater is capable of upmixing it with Neuro X or Dolby Surround, it does have some scenes where the height channels are used. Right about 5 minutes 32 seconds in, the rain sounds like it's falling from above you and all around you, as the thunder crackles right overhead and has some really deep bass to it. In fact, pretty much every rain scene sounds good throughout this entire movie. At 1 hour, 16 minutes, 45 seconds in, the helicopter sounds like it flies right over you, as you can hear gunshots and bullets whizzing right by. But the best sounding scenes, in my opinion, are at 53 minutes 5 seconds in, when the crow is flying and you can hear thugs speaking all around you. It's a very immersive scene that makes you feel like you're actually the crow hearing everything that he can.
Shit made Tintin into a fucking voodoo doll. Tintin is dead. Tintin. Fire it up! Fire it up! Fire it up! Fire it up! Fire it up!
Then at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 3 seconds in, the shootout scene has some really good surround sound, utilizing all of the speakers with bullets whizzing by everywhere. There are some other scenes that have some great effects as well. I've listed them all in the comment section down below for you, along with the timestamps. But since this is an older movie, it does sound flat at some times.
Oh, you creep!
As for the bass, this movie didn't have that much of a kick to it, but there are a few scenes throughout it where my sub did rattle just a bit. At 30 minutes 15 seconds in, the explosion is very loud with some deep bass to it, and also sounds like debris is flying right behind you.
What was that?
You wait right here.
Be careful.
At 46 minutes 34 seconds in, Eric's vision has this deep rumbling bass sound that sounded really good. This scene also has some good surround that puts you in a 360 immersive sound bubble as well. There are some other explosions and scenes with bass, but it's just not as hard hitting as you'd expect it to be like. T-Bird's car exploding, for example. I was expecting some more deep, low rumbling bass to it, but it just wasn't there. Despite this being an older movie with only 5.1 audio, the dialogue throughout it was nice and clear, and there was never any times where I had trouble understanding someone speaking or their voice was too low or muffled. I'm using the A9's voice mode to enhance dialogue, but even when I turned it off, the dialogue was nice and clear. Now if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and hit that little bell icon to get notified when I upload more videos. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my channel, consider becoming a Patreon supporter. The link is in the description box down below. As for video quality, I watched this on my LG C9 OLED, and this is a major upgrade. Back in 1994 when I was a teenager, I owned this on VHS and I loved it. I've watched it also on DVD several times and also the Laserdisc version. And when it came out back on Blu-ray in 2020, I rented it and watched it then also. But this transfer to 4K is definitely the best picture quality I have ever seen for this epic movie. And I was so happy watching it in all its 4K glory that I felt like a teenager again. Yes, because this movie is older and it was shot on film, there is a little film grain to it. But there were some scenes that were so good, it looked like it could have been recently digitally shot. For example, close-up shots of Winston show the pores on his face, the individual hairs on his mustache, and even the fine textures in his white t-shirt. Close-up shots of Eric are just as good, and so good in fact that I noticed a crack in his tooth, which is something I never noticed before out of all the hundreds of times I've watched this movie. This is though a very dark movie, and black levels look deep, rich, and not washed out at all on my OLED, especially all the night scenes, which most of this movie takes place. But since it's a dark movie, the HDR isn't that bright, but there are a few scenes with explosions and fire that really do pop. All in all, I thought The Crow on 4K was great, but I do wish they would have mixed the audio to Dolby Atmos. Having my HT-A9 unmix it was good, but it would have been way better, of course, in Atmos. I love hearing all the old music I used to listen to as a teenager throughout this movie, and I still listen to that music today as an adult. It was surrounding me and pumping through all my speakers with some good heavy-hitting bass. And I really felt immersed with the rain sounds and the thunder crackling right above me. So I'm going to give the audio of this movie a blazing score of 7. As for video quality, I think for such an old dark movie, they did a really great job upgrading this to 4K, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I truly enjoyed watching a crisp, clear version of this movie with so much detail, and I'm glad now that I own it on a 4K disc. So I'm going to give the video a blazing score of 8. So have you guys watched The Crow on your Sony HT-A9, Bravia Theater Quad, or whichever home theater you may own yet? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. And I'll catch up with you guys in my next movie review.